Been waiting for this story. I've been talking to Ken Smith about this. As we celebrate Black History Month, we are taking you back to a day in North Carolina history. July 31st, 1966, a Sunday. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. came to Raleigh to speak at Reynolds Coliseum on NC State's campus.
Only a handful of photos ever existed. No audio was saved. WRL's Ken Smith explains why that moment in history was nearly erased until now.
I say to you this afternoon,
in those days, Dr. King was considered our savior.
On his Franklin County family farm, Ira Harris recounts seeing his civil rights icon 56 years ago. He was just a teenager.
People don't realize how it was for Negroes in those days.
He and his grandfather made the treacherous journey to Raleigh. What was that journey like?
It was difficult. The quickest way to get to Franklin US 1 was blocked, so we had to take a detour. So it took a little more time.
So you're a young boy seeing all this, heading to see Dr. King. What is going through your mind, if you remember?
Afraid, excited and afraid too.
This one photo from an AP photographer was the documented image of that day until now. This is never-before-seen video of that day, July 31st, 1966. The Ku Klux Klan descending on downtown Raleigh to protest Dr. King's visit.
So these are security guards of the Klan with their gold helmets.
Hours later, Dr. King would speak to a crowd at Reynolds Coliseum.
A local newspaper sent 8 reporters out to Fayetteville Street. They sent no one to Reynolds Coliseum.
The next day's front page had the headlines of the KKK rally of more than 1,000 protesters. Beneath, Dr. King's speech to about 5,000 people who packed Reynolds Coliseum.
Dr. King's theme was that freedom had grown a bud but had not yet flowered.
This July day in 1966 of Dr. King speaking in Raleigh almost remained part of North Carolina's hidden history until some in-depth research by NC State professor Jason Miller.
Just this 21 seconds is enough to show you how animated, activated in Dr. King's imagination was and how he was responding to the audience.
Film photographer Edgar Wyatt captured the moment in downtown Raleigh, and as Dr. King's speech aired live on television, his son Marshall preserved the film.
This is beyond local history, beyond state history. This is national world history, really, with Dr. King and the civil rights movements.
As for Ira Harris, that July day in 1966 was a gift from his grandfather that forever shaped his life.
The voice, the authority, the spirit, the feeling, the motivation that he gave the Negro people to keep on fighting, not to give up.
Marking this moment in time through a new lens as we celebrate Black History Month. Ken Smith, WRAL News.
Remarkable. Mr. Harris is also working on a book about his time growing up during the civil rights movement called Brown Skin Boy. Also, NC State's Hunt Library has a digital copy of Dr. Miller's research about Dr. King's visit to Reynolds Coliseum.
You can listen to the rest of Ken's interview with Dr. Miller by checking out the WRAL Daily Download podcast. It's available now in Apple Podcasts, or go to WRAL.com, search podcast.